Hey everybody, welcome to Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page. On this episode, a chef who came to America from Jamaica, began his culinary career at Denny's, became a private chef for a bunch of NFL players, and now he's got his own Jamaican fine dining restaurant. He's done it all in Buffalo, New York. As he'll explain, he picked Buffalo for the winter weather, though when we talked, it had not yet arrived for this year. Here's Darian Bryan. Chef, how are you? Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me, man.
How's Buffalo?
Buffalo is still warm, believe it or not.
Yeah, that won't last long, will it?
Fingers crossed. I need at least 4 more weeks.
We're almost mid-September. I don't think you're going to get 4 weeks.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but your Bills play outside, right? So it's an advantage.
Yeah, we're kind of used to it by now. I've been here for 13 years from Jamaica. People's like, are you used to the snow by now? I'm like, I don't think so. Maybe next year. I don't know.
You made a voluntary decision to come to Buffalo, not to disparage Buffalo, but I'm talking climate-wise. You left Jamaica and you came to... Why'd you do that?
It's funny that I have an option to choose either San Diego or Buffalo.
Hello?
My mom was living in San Diego. My sister was living in Buffalo. So I'm like, there's no snow in San Diego, and I experienced something different. Because all my life I've been in the heat, hot, Jamaica, right? 100 degrees. I'm like, I want to see snow. I want to feel it. I want to make a snowman. And let me tell you, after the first 2 years, I'm like, you can take this snow thing back, man. It's no joke.
But you're still there, so obviously something kept you.
I kind of fell in love with the city.
Did you?
City of good neighbors, right? The love and support these folks show me is unmatched. I like that it's a small city, so you can really make a name for yourself and have a great living too, because his cost of living is kind of cheap here.
I got to start with the following. You say Jamaican food to the average American. Some have no idea. Most who do would say, well, I guess it's jerk chicken.
Yeah.
What is it really?
That's what most people think when they hear of Jamaican food, they hear jerk chicken, because there's so much other food in Jamaica. Like we got a lot of pork, goat, stews, because Jamaican cuisine is all these different culture, right? We have Indian, we got the Chinese, all these different peoples, a melting pot. Because back in the day, slavery days, all these slaves would come to Jamaica, the Caribbean, and they run off, right? Then they start their family, the Indians, the Chinese, all these different people who come from their different backgrounds. And they start creating all these different dishes, different techniques of cooking and merge them. So that's how jerk season come about.
What is jerk seasoning?
It's like 16 ingredients that's in jerk seasoning. And they come about by like getting all these different ingredients to put together to preserve meat. Scotch bonnet pepper is, the main ingredients in jerk. That's what bring the heat.
And that's a preservative somehow?
Yeah, all those different, like the pimento, the allspice, which you call allspice here, ginger, the garlic, the thyme, all of those stuff that's preserve the meat so it can stay longer. Because they always hunt like pigs and stuff like that. And they pick all these random ingredients and come up with jerk.
Wow.
And the way of cooking it is they're cooking underneath the ground so that the slave masters can't see the smoke. And you intensify the flavor too. Make it nice and tender. There's so much.
Obviously, there's a parallel story in the States among the enslaved and a variety of cooking techniques.
Yeah.
So once again, you get a cuisine to a great extent born out of travail and poverty.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the most flavorful food came that way because, frankly, it was the folks who didn't have much who had to figure out a way to use what they had.
Yeah. It's like, in my old soul, we always say, do what you can with what you have. I grew up in a big house. Well, not a big house, big family, small little house. It was like 23 of us living under one roof.
Wow.
Yeah.
Multi-generational, I guess?
Yeah. So all my cousins, I got 5 sisters, my mom, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, everybody's just there under one roof. 7 of us in one bed. Was wild.
Well, tell me about your childhood. I don't want to make assumptions here. You just told me you got 23 people in one house, so I'm guessing economically times were tough.
Yeah, so born and raised in Jamaica. I came here when I was 20.
Okay, in Jamaica, in a rural area?
Yeah, very. Where I grew up. So I grew up on this little hill called Brad's Hill. No electric, no running water. There's like 6 houses on the hill. And in order for us to get water, we have to go to the river every day. to get water. Crocodile chasing us all the time. So we end up eating them sometimes, even though they're protected. Don't tell nobody we eat them.
Probably a statute of limitations at this point.
We hunting, right? So yeah, that's where I grew up. The first 12 years of my life, that's what it was. Just like no electric, no running water. And everything's been outside. Like we cook outside, we eat outside.
And what were you cooking? Oh, your parents or grandparents or aunts or uncles. What was the cooking? What did you grow up eating?
A lot of fish because I'm always hunting. I'm always the one to go out there like catching fish to take home. So my grandmother, she was the chef in the home. She always cooking fish. We raised chickens, lots of goats, and pork. So we always have those protein around. And a lot of rice. Because rice can feed a nation, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we have a lot of people to feed, a lot of rice and dumplings, which is just made from flour, which you know that. And a lot of banana, because we have banana trees, and a lot of yams, sweet potatoes. Everything we pretty much grow, we eat it too.
When you grow up slaughtering your own proteins, I assume you get a different respect for the parts of the animal.
Yeah.
Here in America, we, and much of the world looks down on this, we don't eat the whole animal, which is wasteful.
Yeah.
You think we'll ever change?
There's a change coming. I see it. I can feel it. But growing up, that's all we know. That's all we have. So me as a kid used to like slaughter goats and chickens. No, I don't think I have it in me to do it anymore. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's scary, you know what I mean? Especially like, for example, in my restaurant, we serve snapper, the entire fish with the head and the eyeballs, and people are like, you're crazy. There's eyeballs in that thing. I'm like, that's all we grew up eating it. That's why I'm trying to introduce my culture, my cuisine to the Buffalonian folks that never even thought of eating the entire fish with bones.
And that's interesting. We as a society, I mean, look at Chinese culture, food is preferred on the bone. Here we prefer food off the bone.
Yeah.
At what point was it watching your grandmother? At some point you looked up and said, I want to cook. How did that happen?
Yeah, it started off with my grandmother. She used to cook every night. And I was that kid that sitting in the kitchen waiting in scraps because I was kind of I don't want to say greedy kid. I love to eat. I love food, right?
But you're a thin guy, so presumably you could get away with it.
In Jamaica, like, we walk everywhere. So that's like exercise. I play sports all my life, all throughout, you know what I mean? So I'm always active. So I cannot burn it off. And plus it's natural food too, you know what I mean? It's a junk food that get us a little heavier.
Yeah, you were not sitting there waiting for grandma to throw you some Cheetos.
Yeah. It's like, what do you got? What do you got? Give me the scraps. Then my mom, she used to have a cook shop back in Jamaica. A cook shop is like a takeout restaurant, like a traditional. Have you been to a Jamaican restaurant before?
You know what? I am embarrassed to say I don't think I have. And I've been to a lot of different cuisines. So that's on my list. I'm going to come to Buffalo.
Yeah, so it's just a little takeout restaurant. There's no sit down. There's no like servers.
And what am I taking out?
We would serve steamed fish, roast fish. We serve curry goat, curry chicken, jerk chicken, a lot of oxtail, and fried dumpling. We call it a festival. And people would come up to the window. Everything is pre-cooked. And we'll just serve it from a pan and give it to them. They go back in their car or go sit outside and eat. That was my life as a kid.
You worked in the cook shop as a kid?
I worked with my mom just to provide and survive, you know what I mean?
Were you enjoying it? I mean, at some point you decided this should be your career. So how did that happen?
No, to be honest with you, I wasn't enjoying that. I used to hate it, to be honest with you, because I was a kid. I don't want to do that. I want to go play soccer with my friends or cricket. So soccer is my main sport, right?
And cricket is completely baffling. I lived in England, and on TV, they would play a test match for 3 days and then no one would win.
Someone will win at some point.
Okay, fine. One day, explain the rules of cricket to me.
Yeah, I got you because I play all my life, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, I was just so mad as a little kid watching my friends passing by to go play cricket and soccer, football.
Yeah.
I want to go, but I have to help my mom. I was the only boy, right? I didn't have a dad. So my mom, she's my mom and my daddy one, you know what I mean? So I have to help her provide for everybody else. And I was, as a kid, scaling all these fish, like 200 pounds of fish at a time, breaking crab claws for the curry crab, seasoning meats. I didn't want to do it until my mom left Jamaica when I was 15 years old.
And we'll be right back.
I took over the cook shop. And that's when it started. I'm like, my family got to eat. My sister's got to eat and my grandparents got to eat. So that's how I started cooking.
But it was still an obligation. When did it become a passion?
I seeing the joy food bring to people. And my grandparents was enjoying it. And I'm like, wow, this is great. Like food does this to people. Why wouldn't I want to be a chef? So I was just cooking all throughout. I was working a regular job. I was working at a chicken factory where they're slaughtering chicken, and I would go home and I'll cook. And then when I came here to the US when I was 20, and I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? So back in Jamaica, I tried plumbing. That was my thing. I tried electrical. I didn't like it either. I'm like, what do I love to do? I love to cook. And I came here to the US. I told my sister Cherise that I was living with at the time, I want to be a chef. Could you put me in a cooking school? She's like, sure. And that was it. My first job in the US was at Denny's up the street. And they teach me all about American food because I never seen pancake a day in my life, never seen bacon. We don't have no country fried steak. So it took me a while to learn these stuff. Like, for example, avocado, we call it pear back in Jamaica. So I didn't know the different names. I never seen celery before. There was just so much I never seen or heard of. And it took me a while to learn these stuff. I had to take the menu home and practice. I was to go home and cook all these dishes just to get familiar with them. I worked there for 2 years and they changed my life.
I have talked with a number of chefs. I don't know that anyone ever told me Denny's changed their life.
Yeah.
Although I recently spoke to the woman who runs all of the culinary at Magnolia's in Charleston, a venerable institution, who told me she started out at the Waffle House. So there you go.
Yeah.
So you're working at Denny's. What was their signature item?
Most ordered thing was like the Moon Over Miami. Everybody's buying that, you know what I mean? The lumberjack.
What was the Moon Over Miami?
We do a sliced American cheese, Swiss cheese. We do ham, sliced ham, and eggs. And that's it.
Okay.
You toast both sides, shut it, cut it, and serve it with whatever you want to.
Kind of an American croque monsieur, a ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. And people love that. We saw so many, because Denny's teach me speed and consistency. I never actually worked in a restaurant before, right? And pumping out all those food, like Saturdays and Sunday mornings are ridiculous. Speed, consistency, because you're making eggs to order. You don't want to burn them, you know what I mean? So you got to make sure you got that down pat. You're flipping burgers, you're dropping pancakes, you're dropping fries in the fryer. It's just like this all day.
Did you then go to culinary school?
I did. First, I applied to be a dishwasher at Denny's. And they saw my resume that I'll be going to school in September for culinary.
Oh, you had already chosen to go to culinary school before you went to Denny's.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So I came here in February and I got the job like April. And then they saw, oh, you're going to go to school in September for culinary. Let's just put you in the kitchen. And I'm like, no, I don't know anything about American food. I was just so scared to be in the kitchen. I never worked in the actual kitchen before like that.
You obviously had some innate ability. You'd run the cook shop?
Cook shop, yeah.
Was it natural? Did you just fall into it? Or
it was different because I never cooked eggs. I don't know how to flip an egg. I never seen bacon before. I don't know how long it should be cooked.
Yeah, undercooking bacon's probably not a great idea.
Well, people have their own preference of how they like it, right?
Yeah, but come on. So you go to culinary school.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was challenging, very challenging for me because as I got the job at Denny's, I'm still learning. I went to school now and I heard about all these different cuisine. French cuisine. Denny's didn't teach me that. Italian cuisine, Asian cuisine, all this different stuff. I'm like, what is this? Mirepoix, stock, this, that. Emulsification, I'm like, what's all this stuff? You know what I mean? So it was very challenging for me. I couldn't afford books nor uniform at the time too. I didn't have what was required for school. And they told me they're going to kick me out because I don't have all the stuff that I need for school. I was riding my bicycle every day to school too. And they see how hard I have it too. So my one instructor, she saw my potential and she gave me a book. Because I was the only guy, they call me the weird guy because I talk different, right? They're like, why you talk? Can you talk like us? I'm like, no, I'm not from here. So nobody want to be in my group because first, I don't know the difference between these stuff or what to do. I never see a recipe a day in my life. You know what I mean? All of those stuff is just so new to me. Nobody want to be in my group because I was just the guy that don't know anything. And that's when I know that I need to become better. So I used to go home and just practice night and day, my knife skills, breaking down chickens. I just ride to the grocery store to get carrots to practice. It was a struggle for me, but you know what? I came out on top because I did my homework. I studied, watching YouTube videos night and day, every day until I get to this point.
At what point did it click? At what point did they realize, did you realize, I got the chops?
Actually, when I was at Denny's, I see the way I was making breakfast food. And people's like, oh, it's the best eggs ever have. I'm like, we're making the same eggs, you know what I mean? But it's just the passion I put into it and the plating. I'm like, I like this. But when I started culinary school now, and they gave me my first opportunity to do like a Caribbean cuisine. Because when I was in school, nobody cooking Jamaican food. So I want to bring something new to the table. They gave me opportunity to start my own cuisine, which was called a Caribbean cuisine. And I used to go back and teach every semester because when I was in school, nobody cooking Jamaican food, nobody cooking Caribbean food. And I was so nervous to do it because I'm like, I don't know how to lead people. I don't know how to make recipes. So I called my family and friends back home and I'm like, listen, I'm getting this opportunity to create something new at school. And they gave me all these advices and like, do this dish, do some comforters, do some steamed fish, blah, blah, blah. And it took off and it become a thing in my college now. They teach Caribbean cuisine now. They used to have me come back and teach every semester because it went so well. It's something new and exciting. I'm like, yeah, this is it.
Okay, so you leave culinary school. Where'd you go? What'd you do? What was your career path?
When I left culinary school, I decided I need to leave Denny's too because I'm like, why am I still here making pancakes? So I got a job at this place, Hutch's restaurant, they're up the street. The best restaurant in town. They still one of the best restaurants. It was a dream job of mine to get a job there, you know what I mean? And my one chef instructor, Chef Jackie, the same one who invested in me and gave me a book. She got me the job there. They had me work for a couple of days for free to see if I'm any good. And then they give me a prep cook job for like 8 months. Then they move me up to pantry, then to the grill. Then I become a sous chef there. They're like, yo, who's this kid? We've been here all these years, this young kid coming in, being a sous chef because the boss, the owner, he saw my potential. He saw how much I'm hungry. I want this, you know what I mean? And he's like, you know what? I'm going to offer you a sous chef position.
And what kind of food were you making there?
So Hutch's is like a French-Italian restaurant, which, you know, French cuisine has become one of my favorite cuisine because I just love the rich sauce, the technique, and all that fun stuff.
Coming right back.
While I was at Hutch's, I'm like, I don't want to be the average chef to have a 2-year degree and stop. I want to know the business side of stuff. I want my hospitality degree so I can know all the legal stuff, all the management stuff, because one day I want to have my own restaurant. I need to cover all these areas. I don't want to skip no steps. I went to Buffalo State while I was at Hutch's. I was in school full-time, working full-time as a sous chef, and I get my hospitality degree. So I have a 4-year degree. And then I find out that I couldn't go any further at Hutch's, right? I was a sous chef. I couldn't go any further. So I left to open this restaurant called Prima Cafe. It's a healthy restaurant from scratch.
You say you open it.
Yeah, so the owners approached me to open it. So I'm like, sure, I'll open this restaurant. That leads me to meet my first NFL client, Vontae Davis.
He was a patron at the restaurant or something? What? How'd you meet him?
Yeah, he came in for lunch. I don't watch football. I play soccer. You know, I played the real football, right? So I didn't know who the guy was.
Celebrated Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, he came in looking for healthy food. It was his first week in town. He says looking for healthy food. So I was just talking to him. He came back the next day. I'm like, oh, you're back. He said, everything was amazing. Who's in charge here? I'm like, I'm the executive chef. He said, can I be my personal chef? I'm like, personal chef? I've never done this before, but I'll try. Then I took the job with him while I was still working at the cafe, cooking all his healthy food for him. He started loving it, posting it on social media all the time. Then people started following along, like, who's this young kid cooking for the football player? Then when he retired, he fly me to Miami to do these events for him, meet all these players from his events. Then these players fly me to wherever they live to do events for them too. So that's how I become this NFL chef from that one guy. He pretty much opened the door for me and took off from there.
So do you have a roster of NFL clients at this point?
I have a whole list. Actually, I got 16 of them coming here tonight. This is my private dining right here. This is where the guys normally come for private events.
Do you private chef for them? Do you do events for them? What is it? What do you do for the NFL players?
It depends. Some guys, personal chef for them. Some guys, private chef. I do all their private parties and their family private parties. Or I do meal prep too.
Preparing meals that are packaged for them?
Yep. They'll give me their goals, like I'm trying to lose or maintain weight, or they give me their diet sheet, what they can and cannot eat. Then I'll go off that, create dishes that goes with that plan so they can perform at their best.
Can you tell? I mean, maybe you can't, but can you drop some names on me?
Absolutely.
Who you cooking for?
So Vontae was my first guy, which unfortunately passed away. Then I got Stefan Diggs, Josh Allen, Jordan Poyer, which is coming here tonight with 16 of the guys.
You're cooking for first-line starters on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
What do you cook for Josh Allen, MVP winning quarterback?
You know, I love Josh because Josh loves to eat, right?
Well, he's a big guy.
Yeah, there's no restriction with Josh. He just loves to eat, you know what I mean? He loves steak. Anything steak frites, steak and fries. He like courses too. He loves good wine and like courses. So I enjoy that. 4-course, 6-course, he's going to polish it all off.
During the season?
During the season, because we work it off, he deserve it, right? For Josh, no, lately it's just like special events. So I don't really meal prep too much because, his wife, Ailey, she cook a lot. So she taking care of all of that now, you know what I mean? But back then, I used to do his meal prep in home and all that fun stuff.
Are NFL players today, I grew up in New England. I'm a Tom Brady guy. Oh, don't give me that look. I was always fascinated by his focus on nutrition. Whether it made scientific sense or not, it mattered to him. How aware, how into what they're putting in their bodies are your NFL clients?
I always tell them, listen, I'm going to help you, so you help me. You give me your goals and what you want to reach or what you can and cannot eat. I'm doing my best to make sure I meet those goals. So when I pull up, I don't want to see Chick-fil-A or I don't have anything against Chick-fil-A. I'm not knocking them, but all that extra stuff that you shouldn't be eating. That's a lot of gluten. That's a lot of this, a lot of that. Fried food. So I'm cooking all this healthy, delicious food, but we're human. We're going to have cravings, right? Which you're going to have something else. Or if they're drinkers, it's like the alcohol, much that contribute to weight, So I do my best to make sure I stick with their diets. And there's no bit of feeling for them like Gabe Davis. Oh, he's back too. He was one of my main guys I was meal prepping for. Because I met Gabe through Diggs because it was Diggs' personal chef. I was here every night. Diggs invited all these guys over and I meet all these guys and they had me start cooking for them too. Gabe would be like, yo, thank you. I reached my goal. Everything I cooked for him, he was eating it, right? And he's like, chef, I got to cut back on this. Can we change the diet a little bit? I'm like, I got you. They were like, oh, this is working. I'm dropping weight and all this stuff. So it feels great to see that I contribute to most of these stuff. You know what I mean?
So your personal chefing and your meal prepping and you're doing all these football players.
Yeah.
When do you open your own restaurant?
So I opened this space right here 5 years ago.
What's the name of the restaurant?
This is the Plating Society. This is where I do all my private events. We built this, wife and I built this from scratch. And then my next restaurant, Brad's Hill by Chef Darren, which is across the street. So Brad's Hill, I mentioned earlier, was a hill I grew up on. I opened that 2 years ago. Opening a restaurant is hard, like finding good people, training, get good recipes.
Finding the money.
The money, yeah.
I assume you have investors?
I have investors for that, for Brad's Hill. But as far as like Plating Society go, it was out of pocket and loans and stuff like that. But we made it.
You said earlier you'd always wanted to open a restaurant. When did the light go off and you said, Plating Society is doing well, these private events are doing well. Let me jump in with both feet and open a business in the industry that is the most prone to disaster and failure of any in America.
People are always complaining, you can't please everyone in the room. So if you think you're going to go in business and please everyone, forget about it. The Plating Society is more on the expensive side. It's expensive to book over here because it's a private dining. You got to pay me enough for me to get up out of bed to come cook for you. So not everyone have access to my food. So I'm like, it makes sense for me to open something where people can have access to my food. And that's when I start doing pop-ups once a week on Wednesdays in summertime. Then people start like ordering pans of like oxtail and rasta pasta all through the season. Even the players and the wives and girlfriends always want the food. I'm like, oh, but I open this place full time so people can have the food all year round. Then I open the takeout portion of it, but I'm like, I'm a fine dining chef. It makes sense for me to do a fine dining Jamaican, like a sit down. That's me all day, right? So I was doing some research and I've never seen a Jamaican fine dining restaurant before. So I don't have anything to like get examples from our ideas.
Well, let me interrupt and not to, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but everything we've discussed about Jamaican cuisine to this point is socioeconomically the food of poverty.
Mm.
Is there in Jamaica a fine dining cuisine. Not everyone in Jamaica is poor.
Not everyone. Like in Kingston, I would say Kingston, Montego Bay, they have the nicest stuff. Like, believe me, where I grew up, people still can't believe that I didn't have all that amenities and stuff like that. Like sometimes I talk to Jamaicans how they see my interviews and they'll dog me out, say I'm lying because Jamaica is not like that. But I grew up on this little hill, even like districts down there have like electric, running water, they live the life, right? But the small little hill I grew up on, we didn't have any of that stuff. That's what changed my perspective on life and all that fun stuff. Every year we go back to Jamaica, take my wife and kids.
Your wife is not Jamaican?
No, she's not. So every February, we're trying to go back, take the kids back to where I grew up, the house I grew up in, so they can see the life I live. My kids don't like it, though. They're like, there's no Wi-Fi here. We don't have snacks. There's bugs.
Well, that's where Dad came from.
Exactly. That's what made me the person I am today.
Okay, so you open what you define as a Jamaican fine dining restaurant.
Yep. So upscale fine dining because I'm like, that's me. I love like service, good food, white tablecloth. I never seen oxtail or curry goat serving white tablecloth before.
How do you make fine dining entrees out of, well, how do you upscale oxtail, which, by the way, in any form tends to be wonderful?
Yeah. For like example, for the oxtail, we do like an oxtail ragu, oxtail pasta. So we got fresh noodles. We got this beautiful blush sauce we make, oxtail meat all throughout, and a nice piece of oxtail on top. For the goat, we do like a curry goat ravioli with a white curry truffle sauce. Absolutely amazing. So those are made fresh in-house too. Ackee and saltfish is like Jamaican national dish. We put that in a spring roll.
What is ackee?
You said it perfectly too. Actually, it is a tattoo of it right here on me, somewhere here.
For those not watching, he's got fruit on his arm.
Yeah.
Not going to argue with that.
Yeah, so it's grown while in Jamaica. Other Caribbean countries grow that, but ackee is like the staple of Jamaica. It's like this fruit you pick from a tree. You can cook it in so many different ways. Like we put it in a ramen back at Brazil. We put it in spring roll like ackee and saltfish. Saltfish is pretty much a codfish, right? But we mix it with like Scotch bonnet pepper. We got scallion, we got thyme, we got onion, all spice seasoning. It's so amazing. So that's us elevating these dishes. For example, escovitch, traditional Jamaican fish. We always have escovitch, snapper and all that stuff. We do an escovitch sea bass, which is that deconstructed. Nice filet sitting on a bed of this amazing escovitch sauce.
Escovitch is...
Normal escovitch is fried fish made with a pickled sauce, right? Pickled carrots, onions, with chocha. We call it chayote in America. In it, sugar, Scotch bonnet, thyme, and you just put it on top of the fish. But we'll do that in a different way.
Take me through some other items on the menu. What else are you serving up these days?
Ceviche. We got the island ceviche with all the seafood I grew up eating. We got some lobster in there, shrimp. At Plating Society, I serve with plantain chips, and at Brazil, we do cassava chips. We do a little different. And then we have ramen. We got this thing called Rasta ramen, which is fresh ramen noodles.
You make the noodles?
I got a lady who make all my bread and all my noodles. Sourdough noodles, really good for your gut too. We put ackee in the bowl. We put cabbage, okra, which is a fried okra, put in the bowl, like some type of soy egg. And then we put this coffee beaker on the table. We cook the broth right in front of you on the table. It's an experience, right? When you heat it up, it goes up and cook with the herbs and spices. Then it come back down. Then we pour it over the ramen. It's a whole experience. Then we got a nice scallop dish done with like a bacon jam, butternut squash puree, got seafood risotto with like a saffron butter.
What has the reaction been in Buffalo to your restaurant?
Absolutely amazing. Like we got this thing we call a jerk experience with my head chef, Chef Chris, which I find him in New York City. I brought him here to Buffalo to live, to open this restaurant with me. He come out with his cart, right? Push it out. You have jerk chicken, jerk pork, festival, rice and peas. It's all wrapped up in aluminum foil. That's all you see Jamaica, right? That's what we did in Jamaica. He unraveled it, chop it up on his board in front of you and present it, and it's beautiful. I'll show you what it presented on.
Okay, hold on. Again, if you're listening, not watching, Chef has gone to get, what is that? That's gorgeous wood. Is it wood? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the map of Jamaica. This is what Jamaica looked like.
Oh, so you have a presentation board in the shape of the island.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a guy who make these from scratch for me. So for the restaurant, and we serve that beautiful display on this wood. It's so amazing. We got the homemade hot sauce too. My chef Chris make hot sauce. We got the barbecue dipping sauces. It's an experience.
Are you successfully spreading the gospel of a cuisine that, frankly, not a whole lot of America knows about?
Absolutely. Believe it or not, people travel from all over. I can't believe like at night, Saturday night or Friday night when I go over there just to check in on them. There's so many people from Toronto who come over every night for this restaurant. New York City, I'm like, New York City, what? Or Rochester, all the surrounding area, Albany, all over people come for this restaurant because they never seen Jamaican food done like that before. Actually, Rohan Marley, Bob Marley's son, who live in Miami, he saw it. He reached out, is like, yo, that's genius.
Wow.
He never seen Jamaican food done like that before.
Well, do you think Jamaican food, America discovers cuisines?
Yeah.
Right now, you could argue that the hottest high-end cuisine in New York is actually Korean. Do you see a growth in the future across the country for Jamaican food? And I say that, I mean, not every food succeeds that way. There have been people trying to convince America to like Peruvian food, which is fabulous, for years and failing.
Yeah.
Is there growth in the future for Jamaican cuisine?
Absolutely. And the reason why I said that, we've been open for 2.5 years. After we opened, there's so many other like upscale, like fine dining Caribbean restaurants are popping up all over the place because they see that it's possible. Like, oh, wow, they never seen it before. So I'm like, why all of a sudden everybody is doing upscale Caribbean food now? But it's not Jamaican. That's the difference. Our restaurant is Jamaican. They say Caribbean.
How is it not Jamaican cuisine or vice versa?
When you go Caribbean, you got to go way broader than just Jamaican food, you know? All of those Caribbean islands, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's all over the place. Ours is a strictly Jamaican fusion. So you're going to see Jamaican, French, Asian, Italian mixing together, but the core, the background is Jamaican.
I'm looking at your menu, and in all candor, you're not charging a lot for fine dining.
Yeah.
How are you making money?
It's Buffalo. And people, they complain like, oh, why should I pay this? But when they try it, they're like, oh, this is really good. This is really unique.
But this is a low margin business, and restaurants in general, especially fine dining, have been having a very hard time of it.
Yeah.
Are you doing okay?
We're doing okay. And the reason why we're doing okay is because we have a 2-in-1 concept restaurant. So in the daytime, same location, got a fast casual restaurant, takeout. That's how I mentioned like what we used to do back in Jamaica. That's a traditional Jamaican restaurant. The difference is we have seating on the takeout restaurants. They can come in, they can sit and eat. But there's no servers, there's no bartenders. You have to go get your water yourself. They call a number, you go pick your food up.
So is lunch subsidizing dinner?
Exactly.
How long can you keep doing that?
You know, dinner is picking up now. It's like a Shake Shack, 11 Madison Park concept.
What's the future? Are you going to expand? Do you want to open other places?
That's a good question because when I've been looking into it, like for example, the private dining, what I do over here at the Plating Society, I would do more of those, to be honest with you, than an actual restaurant. Because when I do those now, I just need a head chef, a sous chef, a dishwasher, and 2 servers depending on the size of the party. And that's who I have to pay. And the margin is way higher here because my guests pay for the cost of groceries when they do the private dining, right? You can have a tomahawk steak, you can have the Wagyu steak, you're going to pay for those. You're going to pay me a per person rate too. So all of that kind of go in my pocket, you know what I mean? I don't have to pay much people. But when you have an actual restaurant now with bartenders, servers, head chef that's making a lot of money, sous chef, dishwashers, you got the tablecloths and napkins, all the overhead. You know, what are you left with? You know what I mean?
So why do it? Is it love for the cooking?
You know, it's the love of food. And also, I just feel like I had something to prove. Like I come in here, people, you know, don't know much about it. And I feel like I could make a change. So I'm like, I make a change. But to expand, I would love to expand, yes, but I'll probably change some stuff. I would love to set it up. If you have an investor, set it up. I'll do what I do and move on to the next, you know what I mean? But me personally, to be honest with you, I love what I do as a private chef because I get the flexibility to, if I want to shut it down, I can be gone and do whatever my ultimate goal is to be a TV personality, you know what I mean? Just like a Gordon Ramsay, you know what I mean? A black Gordon Ramsay, you know, that's my thing. So I got agents now, I can do brand deals here and there. I just want to be the personality. So, because I've been grinding for a long time now.
Well, Chef, I have dealt with a fair number of TV personalities, and I got to tell you, you got it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So have you got any Bills tickets sitting around?
Not right now, but whenever I need them, I can get them.
I'll come up for dinner. Maybe we'll see a game.
I got you.
Chef, it's been an absolute delight to meet you, and I want to wish you the best of luck with everything going forward.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. This was great.
Darian Bryan on Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page. I'll see you next time. And check out my Culinary Characters Unlocked Substack.